Good afternoon. Welcome to the Star Teacher, Star Students Award Ceremony presented by Gaston County Schools and sponsored by the Gaston Gazette. I am Todd Higgins from the Gaston County Schools Communications Department, and it is a pleasure to have all of you with us this afternoon. Today's ceremony recognizes outstanding high school students and the accomplished teachers who go above and beyond the call of duty to see that they are successful. We would like to thank the Gaston Gazette for sponsoring this wonderful recognition program, and we appreciate Dr. Ann Tippett and her staff here at the Schiele Museum for making it possible for us to use this beautiful facility. To offer our official welcome, I would like to introduce the Vice Chairman of the Gaston County Board of Education. Please welcome Mr. Jeff Ramsey.
Well, good afternoon. On behalf of the Gaston County Board of Education and our chairman, Mr. Kenny Lutz, it is a pleasure to welcome you to the Star Teacher, Star Students Awards program. I would like to take a moment to introduce the Board of Education members who are with us this afternoon. So please stand when we call your name. Miss Doc Guthrie from the Gastonia Township. Miss Doc Cherry, at-large member of the board. Back there, she's serving lemonade. And Mr. Mark Upchurch from the Cherryville Township. Thank you for being here today. The STAR students being honored this afternoon have selected the teacher who had the greatest influence of their lives, on their lives. The educators being recognized are among the best of the best in Gaston County schools. They are the STAR teachers who go beyond expectation every day to make a significant difference in our classrooms. To each student and teacher being honored today, the Board of Education commends you and salutes you for a job well done. We are confident that our STAR students will go on and become professionals and leaders in our community. And we know that our STAR teachers will continue to inspire a love for learning in the students that enter their classrooms. Congratulations to all STAR students and STAR teachers. We hope you enjoyed this afternoon's program. Thank you.
At this time, to bring greetings on behalf of our event sponsor, please welcome the editor of the Gaston Gazette, Hunter Bretzius.
Good afternoon. I'm Hunter Bretzius. I'm the editor at the Gaston Gazette, and we're certainly pleased to sponsor this event. It's one of our favorite events throughout the whole year. Be sure to look in the Gazette tomorrow. Our education reporter, Eric Wildstein, will have a report on tonight's event. And next Thursday, in case you didn't pay attention throughout all the presentations, the Gazette will reprint the essays and photographs of the STAR teachers and the STAR students. Thank you very much.
Now it is a pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. W. Jeffrey Booker.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is a true honor to be here today. And I've got all these great prepared remarks, but I want to recognize the Gazette. Hunter, Will, you get to stand up, be recognized. They do great features on our kids. Because I can tell you, it's easy to write about bad stuff, isn't it? We can watch the lead stories. The lead story won't come out of this room today. But I'll tell you this, the leaders of our community will come out of this today. And so we're here today to recognize children. But you look around this room, it happens because a lot of people do things. At our tables, we have administrators seated, principals, assistant principals, guidance counselors, and above all, teachers. It happens because they lead every day, and they give every day of themselves. We're here in the Schiele Museum. Dr. Tippett and her staff opened this up for us to use it and have great events like this. It's leadership like that that makes us have a school system that other people are envious of. We are fortunate to be able to recognize STAR students. And it's because we come in this room and each of these administrators is thinking of the 12 kids that could have been here besides these kids. It doesn't take away from the great accomplishments of these kids. It just says we are blessed to have a lot of stars in our community. So today, when we think about a star teacher, we look at them and see what they have done, and then we see the academic records that these children have achieved thanks to the leadership of teachers. But they've done great community service as well. When you look at what their resumes look like, you understand why we have a full ride to Wake Forest, a Duke scholarship, and we could go through all the other universities in our region are clamoring to get our students. So they are stars not only for today, but for a better tomorrow. Many of you have heard the old Chinese proverb that says, better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. We're in a great room today because we get to be with great teachers. We know that none of us would stand here without great teachers. So as we look at these students and you hear their letters, you recognize so many great things have occurred to get them here today. If you didn't bring tissues, I've been here before. You'll need them. So I will ask you, when you hear that lead story, to remember what the real leaders sound like, because you get to hear them today. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. We are ready to meet our STAR teachers and STAR students for the class of 2016. I will introduce each student and teacher and have the student come to the podium to read the essay. We would like for the teacher to please stand beside the podium. There's a nice X right here. As the student shares his or her essay. Then we will give the teacher an opportunity to make brief remarks before the awards presentation. Superintendent Booker and the Board of Education members will present to the STAR teacher the official STAR Teacher Award, a framed copy of the STAR student's essay, and a Gaston County Schools lapel pin. Each student will receive the STAR student plaque and a STAR student lapel pin. And once those awards are presented, they will be presented over here at our table, and we'll have the superintendent and board members join us for that presentation. We are ready to begin first with Hunter Huss High School. The STAR student is Nicole Knox. She plans to attend North Carolina State University to major in computer engineering. Her STAR teacher is David Noblet, a history teacher at Hunter Huss High School.
The first 2 years of the International Baccalaureate program were fairly easy. The classes weren't all that hard. I did a couple of hours of volunteering and that was it. Then in junior year, it all of a sudden became far more challenging. The workload increased dramatically and it became much harder to keep up. The IB program has pushed me to become a better student, and one teacher in particular has made this experience unforgettable. Mr. Nava has not only made me feel more confident about going into college classes, but has also given me something that I value far more: perspective. My view of the world has expanded since I entered his class last year and has gotten bigger throughout it. History has never been a strong subject for me, as I'm not a fantastic writer. When I entered his class, I was horrified to learn that we would be writing essays in a single class period for a test grade. He taught us how to study, read, and write on a higher level. He challenged us in a way we had never been challenged before. Without his class, I doubt I would be as ready as I am now to enter college. Taking the Theory of Knowledge course is interesting in itself, but with Mr. Noblet as the teacher, it easily became my favorite course. My favorite memories of high school will definitely be the crazy debates about global issues in his class. He's helped IB students develop as thinkers and debaters. Another thing that has made him stand out as a teacher to me is his unwavering confidence in dedicated students. He insists that students perform on their highest level. I know his belief in my peers has aided them as it did me. It really makes a difference when you know someone you respect also thinks highly of you. Mr. Nelbert to me is an amazing teacher and an admirable person. His knowledge and perspective on the world are what I aspire to have. I am immensely grateful for everything he has done for all of the students.
That's kind of hard to follow. So Nicole represents everything all of us look forward to coming to every day. And I know that sometimes pay and the state and all the things they do to us, and then when we get in the classroom with Nicole and her peers, all that goes away, and you say, and you're able to look at it and say, this is what I would do for free. I don't want to let the governor know that, but I would. I'd show up every day for free. She's a deep thinker from the first day of the 11th grade when I had her. She, as you can probably tell, she doesn't sit and jump up in class and raise her hand all the time. When she does, that sometimes becomes the lesson plan for the day because the questions are so well thought, so deep, so involved. She's a great math and science student, so when they told me I was getting this, I didn't think it could be Nicole because she's really brilliant in those areas, but she's a great history student as well, so I'm extremely honored. So thank you, Nicole. I appreciate it.
Next, we are going to recognize North Gaston High School. The star teacher has another engagement to attend. So at this time, we are going to recognize North Gaston High School. The star student is Matthew Baker. He plans to attend North Carolina State University to major in civil engineering, and his star teacher is drafting teacher Woody Cox at North Gaston High School.
On the first day of drafting my 10th grade year, I walked into the classroom without the faintest idea of what would happen. Outside stood a menacing bearded man who had been deemed the Hammer by the multitude of his former students. When the bell rang and he walked into the classroom, his first lesson was simple and one that I would always remember. He stood at his lectern and taught us the difference between a podium and a lectern. How that relates to drafting or engineering, I still have no clue, but I now have that knowledge for future use.
This is what?
This is a lectern, by the way. Mr. Cox runs a classroom very differently from most teachers, whereas he allows the students to work at their own pace. Some might believe that this would encourage students to slack off, but they could not be more wrong. The constant pressure of falling behind propels the classroom into a competitive learning environment. Students learn about the topic, whether on AutoCAD or by building a model, and also begin grasping life lessons on time management, teamwork, and business ethics. From sketching miscellaneous diagrams to building model cars and creating miniature catapults, Mr. Cox has helped us enhance our engineering skills and taught us information that will be extremely beneficial in college. Not only does he work hard to make certain that we succeed in the classroom, but he devotes his personal time to the engineering club, which attends several competitions held throughout the year at UNC Charlotte. Without him, we would be unable to compete at the events. His knowledge and teaching has made us more capable than any of us could have ever imagined. He has trained us for college and given us career and life skills. I know for certain that they will help me during my years at NC State. I look forward to coming back to North Gaston and seeing him, and I'm sure that so many others would say the same thing about him that I've said. His dedication to the students at North Gaston has made him a role model to me and so many other students. I would like to thank Mr. Cox one last time for making such an impact on my life, and I'm blessed to have had the privilege of being his student.
I feel like I just need to say thank you while I'm still ahead on that. I appreciate y'all letting me switch up. I've had a personal family emergency come up, so that's what's happened, just so you know. It was completely unplanned. Had Matt in drafting 1, engineering in 2, and engineering 3. He's the kind of a student that makes the teacher just look good. The only thing you have to do if you had Matt was just get out of his way, and he could take care of it himself. And when I was trying to think about what to say about Matt, I was going through some words and terms. Then I realized it'd just be a lot simpler just to recite the Scout Law. I've been involved in the Scouts a lot throughout my life with my son, and Matt is an Eagle Scout. And the Scout Law is, a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Matt truly exemplified all of those characteristics since I've known him. He mentioned the engineering club, and that's really where we learned a lot of skills for future life experiences. We would go to UNCC for three times each year for different events, and it was run by a graduate student who had no help and no money. And so, at least to say, he was kind of unorganized at times. The rules for the events could be ambiguous, and we didn't know if we'd be called on them or not. Sometimes we were, but I preached to the students, let's look at the big picture. Let's not get upset. We're not going to go out there and make ourselves look bad. We've got two choices: either not go or go and just roll with whatever happens. Go to CC's and eat pizza and have a good time. So that's what we did. And Matt always exemplified great leadership in keeping our club members calm and not overreacting for the times that the rules didn't quite go our way. Most of the time. Matt, you and I have something in common that even as smart as you are, you have no idea what it is. That's banana pudding. I need to go back a little bit for that. When I first started teaching in 1976 at Coolidge Junior High School, I had a student by the name of Brent Boone, who was the principal at North Gaston when I was hired. And back then we taught industrial arts, and he and three of his friends wanted to build some grandfather clocks. So I stayed after school and helped him do that. His mother was a secretary at the school, and she was renowned for her banana pudding. So she would make me some every now and then as a reward to keep me engaged. Well, let's fast forward 27 years. Brent Boone is principal at North Gaston. Calls me up, Woody, you want a job over here? You want to come out of retirement? I retired in 2005. I said, no, I never want to teach again. I didn't think you would, but I thought I'd ask. Okay, well, the end of that year, saw my retirement check was not adequate, so I thought maybe I'd better go look. Well, North Gaston was so different from what I had encountered in Charlotte-Mecklenburg. I told Brent, I said, all right, I'll come for 1 year. I'll promise you 1 year I won't leave you short. Two things: new drafting equipment and tables, and have your mom make me some banana pudding. So we shook hands on it. That was the deal. All the stuff got ordered. 3 weeks later, still no banana pudding. I said, all right, Brent. I said, I ain't seen that banana pudding yet. You want me to walk? He said, no, Woody, just hang on. I told my mama she's busy. A week later, Brent's daddy hand-delivered that banana pudding. So I guess you could say I work for food. So if we hadn't had the banana pudding, our paths may not have crossed, you know? When I first was informed I was receiving this award, I was just blown away. I witnessed it being given away several years. It was my 10th year at North Gaston. And I realized I probably never would get it because it's given to the very best students, and that's normally the highest academic, well, it is the highest academic ones, and they have a real strong relationship with the academic teachers, and so it goes hand in hand, you know. So when I got this, I just, I'm going to say, now in the twilight of my career, I cannot express how much this means to me. Coming from a student makes this absolutely the most cherished recognition in my 40 years of teaching. Awards don't get more genuine than this because it's straight from the heart. It's humbling and a deeply cherished award. You know that because of all that is demanded of teachers today, teaching has evolved from a career to a calling. And I can truly say I'm glad I decided to come out of retirement and follow my calling. Matt, you made all of this worthwhile. My final thoughts to your parents: be grateful you have a son like Matt. He is truly a blessing in life. So many parents can't relax because of the drama caused by their children. Don't ever take them for granted. Matt, you will be successful in life. Enjoy your upcoming time at NC State while you study engineering. Shoot me an email every now and then. And the most important thing, if your mom happens to make any banana pudding between now and the end of the school year, bring me a little bit or you're going to get the hammer.
Next is Ashbrook High School. The star student is Solomon Collins. He plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill. He is undecided about his major. His star teacher is Benjamin Reschly, a history teacher at Ashbrook High School.
Attending Ashbrook High School has allowed me to interact with numerous wonderful teachers. However, when told to select the teacher who had the single greatest impact on my life, I knew immediately to choose Mr. Reschly. I had Mr. Reschly as a teacher for AP European History and AP World History. The first day that I walked into his classroom, I knew that something was different. Even though Mr. Reschly was still in his early years as a teacher, he had already mastered creating the perfect learning environment. Classes would start with a fun and thought-provoking discussion surrounding a wide range of topics like the lyrics of a Bob Marley song or the meaning of mountains beyond mountains. Mr. Reschly would then teach each unit through the same discussion method. Every student was engaged and always thinking. What makes Mr. Reschly so special to me is how much he cares about his students. Mr. Reschly provides a spark of positivity and happiness every single day. He understands the struggles of teenagers and can turn a bad day into a good day in the blink of an eye. His fun-loving attitude allows him to connect with his students in a way that makes him feel like family. When I signed up for European history and world history, I had no idea that I would gain a lifelong friend. Mr. Reschly has had a profound impact on my life, and I'm confident that he will continue to inspire those around him.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Solomon Collins for nominating me as Star Teacher of the Year, and I'm proud to represent Ashbrook High School. I remember when I first met Solomon. He was a shy sophomore in room 123 who was wearing a soccer jersey. He was in my homeroom class. As his homeroom teacher, it was my responsibility to pass out report cards. When I got to his report card, I could not help but notice that he was taking AP Chemistry and AP US History as a sophomore. I was pretty impressed by that, and that was my first year teaching. I was amazed to see a sophomore taking such a hard AP classes as a sophomore, so I commend you on that, Solomon. Eventually, every time we had a homeroom, I spoke with Solomon. I checked to see how his AP classes were going, commented on his different soccer jersey he was wearing that day. And for the record, I think Solomon probably has more soccer jerseys than I had CDs in high school. Eventually, Solomon took my AP European History class and AP World History class. He excelled in both classes. I got to know Solomon outside the classroom as well, because he and I share a passion for tennis. Occasionally, I go out and hit some balls with the boys' tennis team. During these times, Solomon and I had some competition on the court. However, he has the most unorthodox open stance serve I've ever seen, and it threw me off, so he won some easy points. Solomon's athleticism and academic tenacity allow him to excel well inside the classroom and on the tennis court. Mr. and Mrs. Collins, you have raised a bright child, and he will achieve greatness, and he has an exciting, bright future ahead of him as well. So I commend you on that. Solomon, I want to urge you to keep working hard and to give every obstacle in your life the greatest effort each and every time. I want to leave you with some enduring advice I learned from my grandfather before he passed away. Keep your head up, don't look back, and keep on going. Lastly, the best thing you could do with your knowledge is to share it with everyone you come in contact with, and always be willing to help those in need. Thank you again, Solomon.
From Bessemer City High School, the star student is Noah Williams. Noah plans to attend Western Carolina University to major in music education. His star teacher is Laredon Pilot, the band director at Bessemer City High School.
Ready? I'm ready. Throughout my high school career, I have had many educators I could choose as my star teacher. But there is one educator who I can call my second mother, Miss Laredon Pilot. Other than my parents, Miss Pilot has truly made the biggest impact on my life. Ever since the beginning of my high school career, Miss Pilot has always believed in me, has always supported me, and has always given me opportunities to better myself. She is one of the reasons I am the person I am today. The first time I ever took a step into Miss Pilot's band room, I was an intimidated 8th grader. I was there to learn about joining the high school band, and although I was super psyched to join the band, I was also very frightened. However, I was met by a caring, nurturing teacher who put my mind at ease. Even on that first day, it was easy to see that Miss Pilot truly cared about all of her students and held them to a high standard and pushed them to success. Because of the countless rehearsals, personal conversations, and lessons between that first day and now, I have not only become exponentially better as a musician, but I have also grown into a mature young adult. Miss Pilot finds a way to make her lessons about music into something more. She always manages to relate her music lessons to a real-life situation. She has taught me about staying humble and always working hard, and has taught me about the importance of hard work over natural talent. I learned from her that relying on hard work and dedication rather than natural talent helps you become better in your field day by day. Watching Miss Pilot impact my life and the lives of other students has shown me that my true calling in life is to be a music educator. I feel like there is no better job in the world than to do what you love and impact the lives of others at the same time. As a music educator, I will use the lessons Miss Pilot has taught me to teach my future students about not only music itself, but about life, just as she did. I will always follow her example and will always go the extra mile for my future students, just as she did for me and for others. Miss Pilot truly is the example of a star teacher, and I am incredibly lucky to have had I am incredibly lucky to have been in her classroom the past 4 years. Miss Pilot, you truly are my inspiration, and you will always be my number one teacher.
This young gentleman in front of you is absolutely outstanding as a musician, number one, and also as an academic student. I would like to brag on him for just a minute and tell you that he has been a participant in our Gaston County All-County Band all 4 years of high school. He has auditioned for All-District Band, which is a huge area region. There are 6 in the state, and we have the biggest one in the state. He has auditioned all 4 years and has participated 3 of the 4 years. And because he did so well in his audition, he auditioned for the All-State Band, North Carolina All-State Band, 2 of those 3 years as well. So on top of taking all his honors and AP and advanced course levels, he's also exceeded in music and excelled every time he's had a task in front of him. So he's done that on his own while he's been working with his academic classes. And he also works part-time at a job now. But other than that, my Noah here is precious in every way. The things that he's trying to say about me are things that I've probably learned from him as well. He is the hardest working student I think I've ever had. It doesn't matter if I think it's good enough. If he doesn't think it's good enough, he keeps working. And that doesn't matter whether that's academic and working on an essay or if that is in music. He takes a task and he wants to do it right. And he wants to do it right for everyone involved. He doesn't just want to do it right for the person he's trying to do it for. He is just amazing, and I have been blessed to have him for 4 years and 8 semesters, and 9 if you count. Yeah, I've had him 9 times in high school, and he still likes me, and I still like him. And I'm just so blessed to be in this position and to have made an impact on one student, let alone any other students, and I appreciate this opportunity to be here with him tonight. Thank you.
From the Gaston Early College High School, the star student is Brianna Gamble. She plans to attend Belmont Abbey College to major in elementary education. Mr. Booker, these students majoring in education and wanting to be a teacher, we hope they will come back to us.
Dr. Maddox has contracts for them.
We've got contracts ready for them to come back and be a part of us. Brianna Gamble is the star student at the Gaston Early College. Her star teacher is Russell Paul, an English teacher from Gaston Early College High School.
I have always been the reserved type in high school. I stayed to myself for most of my time in high school. Everything changed my first day of sophomore year when I looked down at my schedule and noticed that I was taking public speaking. Those two words are a nightmare to someone shy and quiet like me. I knew that taking this class was going to be a challenge for me. Although I was a bit timid and nervous going to the class, Mr. Paul made me feel better about it. Mr. Paul made class so fun and exciting, I would forget I was even scared of public speaking. During my senior year, I had yearbook with Mr. Paul. When I found out that I was accepted into the yearbook team, I decided to go out for editor-in-chief. I was nervous about getting the position because there are some leadership abilities that I felt I lacked. I was nowhere near assertive. I was quiet. I wasn't used to being in charge. To my surprise, Mr. Paul had chosen me to become editor-in-chief of our school yearbook. He had faith in me and trusted me to guide our yearbook staff despite my shy personality. During my time in yearbook, Mr. Paul taught me that it is okay to be myself. He helped me discover a different side of me that I never knew I had. All of these reasons are why I believe Mr. Paul deserves to be recognized with the Star Teacher Award. Without Mr. Paul believing in me and giving me a chance to shine, I don't think I would be where I am today, and I thank him for that.
Well, when I started at Gaston Early College and I found out that I was teaching public speaking, it was the very first time that I ever had to teach a class like that. So that was a learning experience for me too. But what I remember about Brianna was that she was always, as a sophomore, I was always impressed with her poise and her professionalism. When she gave a speech, she came prepared every single time. And I just remember being very proud of her with what she did. And being that she was more of a shy, quiet person in a class full of personality, she really shone in what she spoke and just really being herself. And I remember choosing her as editor-in-chief because she's got an excellent ability to be able to edit, and she's a perfectionist, and she likes to make sure that she has everything right. And I said, she's the right person. Yeah, she's a little shy, but I can work with that. I always work with all of my editors, and I say, we're going to work on your leadership, and you're going to become something great. And I'll never forget when she had to be in charge. She was really shy at first, and I think she felt that people were going to run over her. And when you're in something like yearbook where you have to deal with deadlines and things have to get done, I think she learned real quick that, okay, I got to delegate these responsibilities. I can't do it all on my own. And it was really cool to see how she just grew as a leader and really came into her own. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're going to become a teacher, is because that leadership really shone, and you have been a great inspiration to your fellow students. And I'm just very proud of what you've accomplished. Great job. Thank you.
From South Point High School, the star student is Grace Russell. Grace plans to attend Wake Forest University to major in pre-medicine and public policy. Her star teacher is Stephen Lehman, a history teacher at South Point High School.
People say that you never truly know what you have until it's gone. In my experience, however, you often know what you have, but fail to show your appreciation until it's too late. Last year, amid rumors of Mr. Lehman's mid-year departure, South Point students, myself included, realized that it was about to be too late. Luckily, we got a second chance. Shortly after a bank tried to lure him away, conversations with hockey, Michigan, and pop resurfaced at the end of the history hall. Mr. Lehman was back, and students could not have been happier. The buzz surrounding Mr. Lehman's return was not only about interesting classes, but also respect for his classroom strengths. It is well known that Mr. Lehman's world and European history classes are challenging. Anything less than students' best efforts will bring unsatisfactory grades. However, the dedication required of his students is exceeded by the dedication of Mr. Lehman himself. He is prepared for every class. He makes lessons fun with games and pop culture references. Most importantly, he turns history into a subject that students find useful, no matter what field they will pursue. I was fortunate to take Mr. Lehman's World History course freshman year. That semester taught me not only history, but also writing skills, study habits, and persistence, the foundation for the rest of my high school experience. Mr. Lehman, all I can say is thank you. Thank you for the Survivor games, the Detroit jokes, and the many rounds of bluff. Thank you for 10,000 years worth of lectures and more DBQs than I ever wanted. Thank you for the hellos in the hallway, even after I completed all your courses. But most of all, thank you for giving me the confidence to succeed. You truly define what a star teacher should be.
I'm going to try not to embarrass you too much right now. It is an absolute honor to be chosen as the star teacher for a student that I respect and admire as much as I do Grace. I had the pleasure of teaching Grace for the first time in AP World History when she was just a freshman. I quickly realized that Grace was gifted with the brightest mind that I have ever had the pleasure of teaching. She annihilated test after test. She made me smile and chuckle with a Harry Potter-themed imperialism brochure. The essays she turned in were crisp, well-articulated, and backed by sound analysis. While Grace is an incredibly intelligent young woman, she is also very involved and engaged in both academic and athletic extracurricular activities. But that's the generic stuff, however wonderful and true they might be, that Seinfeld would yada 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 to. The most exciting realization for me was how much more there was to Grace than things you would throw on a college resume. Grace has a giant heart and is kind, patient, and humble. To me, the most important aspect of Grace, and the thing that will stay with me the most, is the overwhelming feeling that she is bound for greatness in this world. While this may sound like hyperbole, Grace is a person who has the talent, heart, and drive to create a new product in the business world that completely revolutionizes an industry, saves lives on an operating table, crafts a flawless argument in a court of law, or inspires the youth of America as a college professor. I'm filled with a sense of hope and excitement for this country when I think of students like Grace, and I'm thrilled that I have the opportunity to play a small role in your education. Thank you for the honor.
From Webb Street School, the star student is Christian Standfield. Christian would like to go to college and to become a teacher. His star teacher is Sarah Williams, who is a high school teacher at Webb Street School.
I would like to tell you about a very special person I want to recognize. Miss Sarah Williams as my star teacher. She is nice and kind. Last year in her class, I really enjoyed math because she is a good teacher. She made math easy and fun to understand. I especially like reading the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, because I like the character Ichabod Crane and how he was caught by the headless horseman while riding his horse Gunpowder. I also really enjoyed working on the iPad in our class. I enjoyed listening to soft music. It helped me concentrate. We watched Channel 1 News and had morning meeting. It helped me understand currents, events, and other important news items like NFL games. She taught me how to be nice to others and to be happy with myself. Ms. Williams helped me to feel smart and important and helped me to be the greatest person I could be.
That was wonderful, Christian. Thank you. I'm going to try to say a few things without crying now, but come up here, I want to tell you some things too, so could you step up a little bit?
Okay.
I think the number one response I get from people when they ask me, when I tell them I'm a teacher is, do you like it? And yes, I love it. And this is the reason why, Christian, you are the reason why I love it. And it's not to be recognized, but it's this overwhelming feeling of joy and pride that I have and that I am very familiar with, and I've always been proud of you. I think the second most popular response I hear from people is, oh, you must be so patient, and you must be so kind, and you must be so nice. And after I thought for a while, these people obviously don't know me because I'm pretty grumpy and not patient. I started thinking, well, in my classroom, when you're in my classroom, we become a family. And like any other family, we learn from each other and we try to bring out the best in each other. And the things I learned from Christian, which is really funny because he said he learned these things from me. I learned from him how to be unapologetically kind and empathetic to people, and to never give up, and to be brave, among many other things. And the world needs more people like you, Christian. I hope you never forget like how important those qualities are, and that you always stay true to yourself. And I know that in the future you can do anything you put your mind to. I wish you the absolute best. I hope all your dreams come true. But most importantly, I hope that you find the kind of pure happiness that I have found through being your teacher. Thank you.
From Cherryville High School, the star student is Johnathan Cruz. He plans to attend UNC Charlotte to major in pre-medicine. His star teacher is Beverly Lovelace, a Spanish teacher at Cherryville High School.
For the students of Cherryville High School, the name Beverly Ramsey Lovelace does not always ring a pleasant bell. Many associate her with harsh and rigorous grading methods and the low grades that accompany them. They dread the strict classroom rules, including the infamous cell phone caddy, to which they must relinquish their cell phones during class. Some even believe that it is her every intent to fail them when possible. However, they view the entire situation from the wrong perspective. Each rule set forth by Mrs. Lovelace is in place to eliminate any distraction possible. Attention is key in any of her Spanish classes because each piece of information she gives plays a vital role in the understanding of the language. Her precise grading is not intended to diminish any student's GPA, but to show them how they can fix their mistakes in order to better understand the language. The focus of our class is on learning and understanding rather than memorizing content to just pass a test. She spends hours upon hours every day after school creating and editing lessons just so our students are able to grasp and understand each concept. It all points back to her desire for students to be able to understand and use Spanish. Spanish is her passion. Never have I met someone who is so passionate about what they teach. She obviously does not do this for the pay or for the popularity. She teaches what she loves because she wants to instill in her students the passion she has for the language, just as it was instilled in her years ago. Any student who has ever had as great a passion to learn can truly appreciate her dedication to not only teaching, but also enjoying her content.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank Gaston Gazette for allowing Gaston County's brightest students to shine tonight. and for allowing us as teachers to come and be honored in such a wonderful way. I've taught for 37 years, and just about every day someone asks me, when are you going to retire? And I think in the back of my mind, the reason that I'm still here is because of students like Johnathan. He makes it worth getting up every morning and going and facing the students who sometimes do not understand why my practices are what they are. But students like Johnathan make it all worthwhile. I would like to thank Jonathan's parents for instilling wonderful moral values in Johnathan and educational values. He is absolutely phenomenal. Johnathan is going into pre-med. I wish that he would be a teacher, but I understand that that's your calling, because he has been my assistant for 4 semesters. Anything that I would need Johnathan to do, he has been more than willing to help other students who do not understand the lesson, and he has been such a joy to teach. Thank you, Johnathan, for sharing this wonderful evening with me.
From East Gaston High School, the star student is Michaela Hayes. Michaela plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill to study nursing. Her star teacher is Sharon Dillard, a health sciences teacher at East Gaston High School.
I have had many teachers throughout my 4 years at East Gaston, but when asked to pick a star teacher, the only one that came to mind was Miss Dillard. She has taught me in Health Science 1, Health Science 2, and Nursing Fundamentals. She is the teacher who has been the greatest influence on me, and I will be able to carry what I've learned from her to help me reach my future goals. Miss Dillard has not only taught me in the classroom, but her life lessons are invaluable. She has showed me how to be hardworking, careless, selfless, and passionate about my work. She is the most positive woman I've ever met in my life, and she inspires me to find the good in every situation. I'm constantly stressed out with schoolwork, softball, and of course clinicals, but Miss Dillard always finds a way to calm me down. She knows exactly what to say to me. She has given me opportunities and education that will help me in my future endeavors unlike any other teacher. Even though some days she pushes me to my limits, I will forever be thankful for her and the experiences she's given me. Ms. Dillard is not only my teacher, but my role model. She deserves this award because she has taught me more than just the required class material. She has taught me the skills for life lessons that will help me succeed. She is one of the reasons I have decided to be a nurse, and I hope to one day be as talented as she is. She helps me every day, and I don't tell her how much I appreciate her. Ms. Dillard, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me.
Well, I want to thank Gaston County Schools for this opportunity and for the Gastonia Gazette for sponsoring such a wonderful event. I will have to say, though, I did come with my invitation and my school badge just in case there had been a mistake. Because this caught me quite by surprise, and I had no idea about what to expect. And so this is just from my heart. But if you were to ask me what I love about what I do, and I tell my kids this, that I get to invest, I get to make an investment in the best investment every day. Every day. Anything that they glean from me or learn from my class will be to good use. And I have the best students, and I know we probably all feel that way. But I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a nurse. But 7 years ago, I got the chance to be a teacher. And I enjoy every day. And I tell my kids all the time at school that I never dread going to work. And I'll have to be honest, there were some days as a nurse where I dreaded it. But I have never had a day at school that I dreaded. I love my students. I love the chance to get to know them. And Michaela is a wonderful example of the students that I get to be with every day. Michaela is the student and the young lady that you want in your class. She's the young lady that you want as your daughter. Mr. and Mrs. Hayes have done a wonderful job with all their children. And I've had the good fortune to teach her sister and her, and they are wonderful girls. Michaela is smart. She is kind. She is driven. She's extremely intelligent. She's insightful. She's thoughtful. She is compassionate. She is slow to speak because she thinks about what she says before she says it. So she is a wonderful student. And she surprises me sometimes. One morning for breakfast, she brought salmon stew. Salmon stew for breakfast. We all about got sick. But she ate salmon stew. She doesn't look like a salmon stew girl. And she likes liver mush. So we like liver mush in our house. But Michaela wants to become a nurse. And she will accomplish this with the same excellence that she has been a student. She will, if I had to say any words, I guess, of encouragement, continue to be the best you that you can be, and that will always be wonderful. Thank you.
From Stuart W. Cramer High School, the star student is Scarlett Bethune. Scarlett plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill to major in environmental studies. Her star teacher is Matthew Robertson, a history teacher at Stuart W. Cramer High School.
Coming from Stuart W. Cramer, I've had a fairly unique high school experience. We've grown from a small student body of just 2 classes with a small faculty to match to 4 full classes. We've been offered a wonderful collection of teachers over the years, but the ones that stand out the most are the ones that have been with us from the beginning. Matthew Robertson holds a special place in my heart, as I've had his guidance both inside and outside of the classroom. During my sophomore year, he taught my first advanced placement course, coached me through my first varsity soccer season, and offered some comedic relief during a difficult time in my life. He has entrusted me with the captainship for the past 2 years and has pushed me to be my best both on and off the field. Most importantly, he keeps my nerves in check by always saying, "Don't panic, Scar." The most important thing I take away from my time with Mr. Robertson is to always set the bar high. He is the most supportive person I've been involved with at Stuart W. Cramer, and he always encourages his students and players to realize their potential. As I began the interview process for several of the colleges I applied to, I told him about my fears and feelings of inadequacy. After assuring me that I just had to be myself, he also reminded me that an Ivy League interview is probably more important than missing soccer practice. These traits also carry over to his role as a teacher. He has faith in every student and sometimes gives them the essential hope they need to follow their dreams. I would know because he's done this for me countless times, and I could never thank him enough.
Well, hard to follow that one up, but I was able to teach an AP class, which caught me off guard because I was at South Point to begin with, and then got news that I was going to help start this new school, Stuart Cramer, and I'm like, wow, okay. And then I got the luxury of meeting Miss Devine, and not long after meeting her, she's like, "You want to teach an AP class?" And I'm like, okay, sure. And so she's like, "It's AP World." I'm like, "Okay, great, it's history, all right." And so I go to the AP training, and I'm like, wow, am I going to be able to teach this? And so here I am having 9th and 10th grade, because it's our first year at Stuart Cramer. And there's Scarlett sitting right up in front, and she's smiling right away. And I say, "All right, kids, this is my first time teaching this class, so I'm going to learn it right along with you." All of them went. That's pretty much the look I got for most of the semester. But it was okay. And they got to see the best and the worst in me, and in soccer too, because when you deal with about 20 high school girls on a regular basis, and then you go home to a 9-month pregnant wife, it can make you have a Jekyll and Hyde personality. And I can't even remember a lot about that semester, especially the AP World, so that's probably a good thing. And it's just a whole whirlwind, but these girls have stuck with me. Scarlett being one of the best, being there for me. And it's just been really, really great getting to know her over these years through in the classroom to begin with, and then also getting to coach her. I mean, that's a great thing that I had the privilege of doing. You also get to be the teacher, but then you get to be the coach. And I remember in college, going to school to be a teacher, they said, all right, students, how many of you are going to be coaches as well? I kind of slid my hand up because, coaches kind of get looked at this little stereotype as being a teacher. And they're like, all right, there's teachers that coach, and then there's coaches that teach. And I'm proud to stand up here and say that you can do both. You can be that teacher that coaches kids through life, and you can be that coach that teaches kids valuable lessons that they can't necessarily get in the classroom. And I've been able to have the privilege of being able to do that with this young lady right here. So Mr. and Miss Bethune, thank you for raising such a great daughter, and I hope I'm able to do the same with mine.
From the Highland School of Technology, the star student is Matthew Noles. Matthew plans to attend Duke University to major in economics. His star teacher is Philip All, a history teacher at the Highland School of Technology.
Good evening. My time as a student in Gaston County Schools, and particularly at Highland, has been punctuated by many devoted teachers, but Mr. All stands out. You see, I had heard rumors about his class, that it was the most difficult class offered at Highland, that an eccentric transplant from upstate New York taught the class, that I would be reading whole chapters each night, and I might as well kiss my regular sleep schedule goodbye. Well, were the rumors true, you ask? Well, there were definitely late nights full of studying and note-taking, and Mr. All was indeed eccentric. But those aren't the things that I remember. If you ask me about him or his class, I'll recall the conversations and witty debates we had after the bell each day, about everything from the merits of the French Revolution to political correctness. He was unapologetically opinionated and never concealed his true feelings on an issue. He was intellectually transparent, a trait he intentionally modeled for his students. In addition, I remember seeing the passion in his eyes when I asked him about our upcoming AP exams and how he expected the class to do as a whole. He immediately started pulling out all sorts of charts and projections that he worked out on his own. Mr. All is quantitative and believes wholeheartedly in the maxim that which is measured will improve. This rubbed off, and I now find myself attempting to measure and quantify the world around me. Finally, Mr. All reminded me that there is more to life than just grades. He expanded and strengthened my entire mind, not just my ability to memorize notes and bubble in the right answer. In summation, teachers work so hard to get students to where they are. I'll never be able to fully express my gratitude for the effort and time teachers have devoted to me. It was my hope that by speaking tonight, I could just briefly turn the spotlight around and highlight the investment that Mr. All has made in my life, an investment for which I will forever be thankful. Thank you.
Matt never needed me as a teacher. He was already fantastic. I'd heard rumors about how good he was as a student. None of this was a surprise to me. He came in, he is brilliant. I'm going to upgrade that. He's charming. He's witty. I'm not just making a dating profile for him. These are real characteristics of him. He is prepared, and he out-prepares everybody else in the room, teachers included, when he walks in. Just to give you an example of how prepared he is, earlier today he wanted to discuss what we were going to do when we were up here. Were we going to shake hands? Were we going to embrace? I recommended that we finish with kind of an exploding fist bump. Matt also has wisdom because he chose none of those things. So that's one of those, it's a gift that he has. I have been very fortunate to teach Matt, and I'm always jealous when I'm listening to some of you fellow teachers talk about how much time they're able to spend, 4 years or 3 years, several semesters. With Matt, I was only able to teach him 1 semester, and I really do cherish, that 1 semester. It was absolutely amazing. He challenged me as a teacher. He challenged his classmates. He just raised the bar, and it was, like I said, it was an absolutely amazing experience for me to be his teacher. And he still comes back, and he still, talks to me, and we are completely opposite ends of the political spectrum. And he is, just like I said, he's an amazing student. I'm glad to know him. So thank you.
Next is Forest View High School. The star student is Marlena Heracles. She plans to attend Clemson University to major in nursing. Her star teacher is Haley Marr, a science teacher at Forest View High School.
Good evening. Compassionate, intelligent, energetic, reliable, and diligent. These are the characteristics that Miss Haley Marr exemplifies every day as a biology teacher. It was a privilege to have Mrs. Marr teach me biology as a 9th grader. Her enthusiasm and work ethic were immediately evident to me. Each and every day, from bell to bell, she explained the relevance of biological concepts with hands-on activities and numerous stories and examples. Her lessons were creative. Everything we did had a purpose. Mrs. Marr is passionate about teaching and is a wealth of information about health science, as she is also a registered nurse. Mrs. Marr's engaging personality and smile are contagious. She is a kind-hearted teacher who works to serve all students. At Forest View, she has worked tirelessly to teach individuals with disabilities through team teaching and having her biology students tutor their peers. Mrs. Marr is always willing to help others to do their best. Her gentle nature is apparent both with her students and with her love of animals, who often find homes in either her classroom or her home. What is most impressive about Miss Marr is that she cares about all of her students, and she has pushed me to do my best in all of my endeavors. Throughout high school, Mrs. Marr has mentored me and answered many of my questions about the specifics of the AP project, as well as college and career choices. I cannot tell you how many times this semester I have found myself in her class during 4th period for advice on whatever I need. She is an advocate for all students and a great listener who gives thoughtful advice. Miss Marr is empathetic, and her love of learning, especially for biology, has inspired me to become a nurse. I am honored to have had Miss Marr as a biology teacher and a mentor. She has been influential and a positive role model for me in every aspect of my life. Thank you.
Wow, okay, energetic, yes, that I am. So give me some Diet Sun Drop and I'm on a roll. So, and the eggs came in today with the chicks that we are going to be hatching in my classroom to go with the bunny and the guinea pig. So I love what I do. I do, and I'm going off the cuff because I didn't realize I was really supposed to speak. So, I love being a teacher, and I'm proud to be in Gaston County Schools. I'm proud because Marlena, what a wonderful, all of these students that are in here, oh my gosh, who wouldn't be proud? And I'm gonna cry. When you go, a piece of me goes with you. I want you to know that. And when I talk about my students, they're my kids. I have confused a lot of people because I would say, wow, my kid got into trouble today. And they're like, well, what did Kelsey do? And I'm like, no, not that kid. My kids at school. And they're my kids. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I'm I can't do it anymore. And I do love biology. You're all living, and what's not to love about life? And I hope that I put that across every day that I'm in the classroom. So if God gives me the strength, I'm just going to keep teaching, and I'm so proud of every one of you that's in here, and especially Marlena and Tina and Omer. Wow, what a job you have done. And this is why she is a dancer. Goodness, if I could dance like you dance. She can hit a softball like crazy. I mean, a dancer and a softball player all combined in one. And she's brilliant. So I guess I'm in awe of you. And you're my kid. You started out in 9th grade. And I'm just so proud. So thank you. I'm not used to this either at all. So it's really cool. So I appreciate it so much.
And Mr. Booker has a few words of reflection before we close our program.
Well, when I got up here, did I tell you needed a tissue? You needed more than one. The teachers did a great job of thanking the parents. It is a great honor that you entrust your students with us. And I hope everyone in this room sees no one takes that lightly. To the teachers, thank you for the inspiration you are to all of us, for the dedication. I hope you all heard how many years of experience down to beginning teachers. They all are impacting our children every day. We are a lucky people in this community. So I will again challenge you to hold this, to bottle this, and remember to thank these people every day, because they are our future. So thank you all for being with us today.
We appreciate our STAR students sharing their heartfelt stories about these truly wonderful teachers recognized here this afternoon. Let's have one final round of applause for all of our STAR teachers and our STAR students in the class of 2016. We want to let you know that today's program is being videotaped. It will air on Channel 21 the week of graduation, so please be looking for this program on Channel 21. It will also be available on our YouTube channel. And we would like to say a special thank you to our high school principals and counselors and the central office administrators who are here today to support our program. And we also want to thank the guests of our STAR teachers who are with us. And we want to acknowledge the parents of our STAR students. They are the proudest people here in this room. As we conclude our program, I would like to share this quote. Teaching is a lifelong journey. To teach is to touch the lives of many. But to teach well is to make a difference in all the lives you touch. Thank you, STAR teachers, for making a significant difference in the lives of our STAR students. We appreciate all of you being here this afternoon, and we hope you have a great evening.